Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football Signing Day, and a very sneaky commitment for Coach Prime, the Colorado Buffaloes, as three-star linebacker Kyeran Garcia from Fort Myers, Florida, commits to the Colorado Buffaloes. And this is a guy that you might fly under the radar a little bit, but diving into the film a little earlier this morning, this is a guy that just makes plays. You take a look at the numbers from the last 2 years at the high school level. 280 tackles. His senior year had 140 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, has a track and field background, and doing some reading. Couple things that I noted. One, apparently up to 6'3", 225 pounds. So you start looking at the body type and the physical traits, that frame, that size with the track background. You're checking a lot of boxes in terms of what you want in that modern day linebacker. And secondly, a 4.3 GPA. I mean, most of the schools recruiting Kyeran Garcia, Harvard, Dartmouth, Penn. This is a guy that gets it done outside of the football field as well. But I think what sticks out to me the most, and we're going to dive into the film, is his ability to have phenomenal instincts, but more importantly, really work through traffic and just find the ball carrier. You're going to see a guy that goes sideline to sideline, really athletic, hard for offensive linemen to kind of get a hand on him at the second level. And at the end of the day, just extremely productive. And I feel like when you're talking about high school recruits, a lot of the narrative goes to what are the verified track times? What is the physical traits looking like? And for Kyeran Garcia, I think they're certainly there. But I feel like the conversation about what does the film look like? And is this guy producing when he puts on the helmet and shoulder pads? That's what really impresses me the most about Kyeran Garcia. I want to open up the film, talk a little bit about what we see from Kyeran Garcia and what he brings to the table for the Colorado Buffaloes. Before we get into it, just want to say thank you to you guys. And it has been a blast covering this program the last couple months in the transfer portal. The amount of support you guys consistently show to the boys, it really does mean a lot. Many of you guys know I'm a massive fan of talking about roster construction, transfer portal, high school recruiting. Cannot thank you guys enough for all the support. If y'all do enjoy the content, you enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Kyeran Garcia. And I want to go ahead and just look at the film. A guy that in Colorado really came on late for Kyeran Garcia, offered him on December 18th, and locking the commitment up. And the first thing you see is, one, working through traffic, going sideline to sideline, right? Really hard for these offensive linemen to get hands-on Kyeran Garcia at the next level, works through the traffic, finds the ball carrier, makes a play. This is really good film in terms of what he can do. You see sniffing out a screen here. This is a very smart football player. And at the linebacker position, you have to be able to diagnose what's going on in front of you. He sees the screen, snuffs it out, goes, finds the ball carrier, makes a play for a tackle for loss. That's the type of stuff that I think gets lost in the high school recruiting conversation, right? You're always talking about what are they doing in the 7-on-7 camps? What are the track times looking like in the spring? Turning on the film, watching Kyeran Garcia and just how often he is identifying, diagnosing, and making plays on the football field. That's probably what excites you the most. And again, working through traffic, really hard for offensive linemen to get hands on him. Goes out, makes a play. I really like his ability to just avoid blocks using his athleticism. Now you see him working through traffic. And this is probably one of the most impressive parts of his film. There is a lot of junk that's going on in front of him. And for some, I mean, somehow he gets through it all and makes a play on the ball carrier. And you see that time and time again on the film. Again, a lot of traffic, a lot of junk in front of him, diagnosing what's going on, and somehow on the other end meets the ball carrier and makes a play. He has a really good knack for navigating the traffic that's in front of him and going out and finding the ball carrier. And you can have all the physical traits in the world, but if you don't have that trait to navigate what's in front of you and go make plays, all those physical traits don't matter. And so a guy like Kyeran Garcia showing that ability, really impressive, going sideline to sideline. This is such an important aspect of playing linebacker, especially in the modern college football age where you are seeing a lot of offenses try to get to the perimeter, try to get people in space. You see Kyeran Garcia really operate in space at a high level. And I think that's what is probably impressing you the most. And at the end of the day, this is just a really good linebacker with really good film. Again, shedding a block, really good block destruction, just too athletic for these offensive linemen to get to him at the second level, stringing out the play and making a tackle. This is a guy that is just always around the football. Here we go again, sideline to sideline, working through traffic, somehow ends up making the play. Very, very impressive film. I'm extremely excited. But I mean, shot out of a cannon on the blitz. Running back tries to pick him up, doesn't stand a chance, works through the block, makes a play. I think we get a little forced fumble there. Really, really impressive film. And you take a look at what Colorado did on the high school trail. And a lot of criticism goes to Coach Prime and not getting the high school ranks squared away. Did a phenomenal job in the transfer portal, bringing in 24 transfers, a really top-heavy high school recruiting class, right? You have the number one offensive tackle in Jordan Seaton. You have one of the best playmaking wide receivers in Draylon Miller. You have the second best athlete in the country in Cameron McKell, where you go to the state of Georgia and pluck him right out of Kirby Smart in the University of Georgia. You go down to a guy like Braden Davis Swain. As a Michigan fan, was a top defensive line prospect for the Michigan Wolverines. You talk about getting Colorado right at the point of attack. A guy like Brandon Davis Swain probably going to play early for Colorado. Really like what they're doing in terms of identifying that top talent in these high school ranks and going out and getting them. And again, it is a smaller class. You probably would like to see them build a bigger high school class going forward, but really, really nice top-end talent coming in this 2024 class. And you round it out with a guy in Kyeran Garcia who, again, flying under the radar, didn't get a ton of Power 5 looks. But when you take a look at the film, there's a lot to like about what Kyeran Garcia brings to the table. Sneaky good commitment for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. Wanted to hop on, give you guys some of my thoughts. If y'all do enjoy the content and enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, can't thank you guys enough for all the support you guys have shown the boys, and we'll talk to y'all later.